Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. In this video today, we have a potentially pretty big update to talk about coming out of the LCS. Obviously, there is now just 2 weeks left in the LCS regular season. You know, we have one more week, and then I believe we still have the LCS Super Week, where every team's going to be playing 3 more games. I think it's going to be the same teams that you played in the previous Super Week, so that's going to be pretty interesting. Obviously, that's going to be pretty spicy. These last couple of weeks are going to be really fun. There's a tight race in the middle of the pack because in the spring, only 6 teams make playoffs. It's not the whole 8-team, absolute clown fiesta. So the teams battling for those last couple spots, there's 5 games left. This is where you're going to decide, who's going to keep playing in spring, who's actually going to make playoffs, who's going to have a successful season and have potential to compete for an MSI spot, compete for a title, and just build momentum to be able to, potentially compete and do more in the summer. Today, we're going to be talking about one of those teams in the middle of the pack that's vying for a playoff spot, potentially making a pretty big or pretty significant move, and that is Golden Guardians. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate that a ton. It helps us out a lot on videos like this. This is a rumor. This is a roster change. This is an update. These are some of the videos that I think people come to my channel more for, which is really exciting, but at the same time, hey, it's Golden Guardians. They're not exactly the most big, exciting team or anything like that. So the extra love and extra support on videos like this one help out a ton. And subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. With that being said, let's get right into this one. What we're talking about today is a new rumor, a new tweet. This one comes from LCS Eevee. This guy has been putting out a ton of content recently. He was one of the guys who talked about the big changes coming to TSM first when Kaido got benched and they announced that Shenny was coming back. He's been all over the place tweeting stuff out. Again, I'm not super familiar with him. He is still kind of a newer guy, so I don't know, what his hit rate is going to be or just how accurate he's going to be or how often he's going to be right, wrong, whatever. I'm just going off what people are saying. I'm just telling you guys what is out there. And I still think even if it doesn't end up being true or whatever, we can still talk about it hypothetically. But what he is saying is sources, GGS, Pride Stalker, will not be starting next weekend. And GGS is currently looking for a more suitable replacement than Iconic, their Academy jungler. Obviously, we know Iconic from last year. They had Niles and Iconic as that top side. And these were guys who both came up from collegiate straight to the LCS. And I think both Niles and Iconic actually showed some potential. I think Iconic ended up being a lot better than I thought he was going to be for a collegiate jungler thrown into the LCS. But it was clear that, he probably wasn't LCS ready and that him and Niles both needed more kind of academy time. So Golden Guardian still is not ready to make that call up for Iconic, but Pride Stalker is a guy who's actually been pretty solid for Golden Guardians this year. He's been decent. He hasn't been amazing. He hasn't been like a major standout, and overall, like when we take a look at the standings, Golden Guardians in 7th place right now, but I think, Pride Stalker hasn't like been their worst player or anything like that, but for whatever reason, it seems like, again, I don't know if this is 100% true, I don't know if this is done, I don't know if this is happening for sure, but what he is saying is that Pride Stalker was not going to be playing this week. Now, it doesn't necessarily say that he's like benched or he's cut or he's, kicked or he's not coming back or whatever, but if they are looking for another jungler, are they going to carry 3 junglers on the roster? Is this going to be a temporary substitution? What is going on here? And that's what this guy asked too. Temporary sub, or is he just benched? And Eevee says he doesn't know. He says he guesses it's temporary, but he says he doesn't know. And that's very interesting wording, and it doesn't give us a whole lot to work off of here. So I guess like giga speculation, which is always a little bit weird to do, but I'm just kind of, thinking aloud and thinking what's going on in my mind. I mean, one, COVID is still a thing. It could still be maybe he's sick. Maybe there's something going on. Maybe something like that. It could be disciplinary. Maybe something happened behind the scenes. Maybe, something bad happened. Who knows? An argument or whatever. I don't know. This also could just be them potentially looking to make an upgrade in the jungle for 2 reasons. One, they think that there's better options out there than Pride Stalker, or they want to see what some different options look like for their team. Or 2, hey, right now, Pride Stalker is an import. Imports should, at least, I mean, obviously there's teams like TSM out there right now, but imports should have a higher expectation. You only get 2 import slots, and yeah, Pride Stalker has been good, but has he been worth an import slot for Golden Guardians? I am not sure. When you look at some of the stats and stuff, I think he's been good. I think in a lot of ways he's passing the eye test for people. When people watch Golden Guardians games, when Golden Guardians lose and stuff, they're not like, oh my god, Pride Stalker sucks, or something like that. Or, oh, they got to get him out of there. Or, if they just got a better jungler, Golden Guardians would be great. Like, Now, Golden Guardians has some other issues going on here. You know, people are still not super in love with Lost. I still don't think people are super in love with Ole. You know, I don't know. But taking a look at some of the stats, you know, there is kill participation. He doesn't do great. He is not, I mean, this is like really, really low. 66.9%. He is towards the bottom in the LCS in terms of kill participation. And that's not great for a jungler, obviously, especially when you look at, you know, some of the top junglers. They're all 70% plus, and he's 66. Like, ooh, that's kind of rough. You know, overall, he's not in a lot of the plays that Golden Guardians are making. But what is good, I do think, is that, and he's also not getting a lot done super early either. You know, he has the lowest first blood percentage in the league. You know, like that's not amazing. But what he is doing well is his early games. Gold differential at 10, he is third in the league. That's awesome. And then CSD at 10, he is first. So you can see he's getting his gold leads off of farming. You know, he's not getting first bloods. He's not getting a ton of crazy kill participation, but it seems like he must have, you know, some pretty decent pathing, or maybe at least he's just choosing to farm more and play for himself than rather playing for his lanes and trying to get his team ahead and stuff. And that's obviously leading to him having the second highest damage per minute in the league. Now, at the same time, somebody like Blabber has a much higher kill participation, a much higher first blood percentage, and they just kind of have less CS and gold difference at 10, but they're still doing, you know, more damage per minute. So, I don't know. Pride Soccer does seem to be a guy who's playing a little bit more for himself, a little bit less for the team, trying to make those individual plays. That's why his kill participation is lower. That's maybe why his stats are better early. But again, is he worth that import slot? I don't know. But again, it's also a thing that I don't know if he's being benched. I don't know that he's just being kicked. I don't know exactly what is going on. But people are then beginning to throw out some other names of who Golden Guardians could potentially be looking at. And this tweet, I liked this one because this is exactly where my mind goes as well. Svenskeren. This is a guy who I thought Golden Guardians was going to take a look at in the offseason, but for whatever reason, obviously they didn't go that direction, they didn't go that way, but I do think Svenskeren would be a very, very big pickup for this team. Now, obviously Pride Soccer is a younger, more inexperienced guy, and Golden Guardians is kind of a team trying to build for the future, and Svenskeren's not exactly that, but I think Svenskeren would still be a very, very solid veteran to have on this team, and again, looking at the standings right now, Golden Guardians is out of the playoffs, but they're only one game back. They're only one game behind EG. They're only 2 games behind FlyQuest with 5 games to play. They could absolutely make the playoffs. And if they think Svenskeren would make their team better right away, which I think he probably would. This guy's been popping off in Champions Queue. He's been looking really, really good. It sounds like he wants to come back and play. And he's been a beast over his career. You know, maybe recently he hasn't been as amazing, or, you know, he's not like at the peak or anything like that. But again, he's not like some super boomer or anything like that. He's definitely a guy who can still play. And yeah, I just wonder if Golden Guardians is going to look to make a move. Obviously, Pride Soccer is an import, so if they bench him, they would then still have an import slot open as well. Whether they want to bring in a new kind of import jungler from who knows what all the different options would be, or if they want to try and bring in a resident like Svenskeren and import somewhere else, I don't know. But this is the big story today that people are talking about around the LCS. Nothing's been confirmed yet. Nothing is done. But again, there are some people around the league saying, hey, maybe Pride Soccer is not going to be playing this weekend for one reason or another. Who exactly knows? But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know about what you think about this situation. Do you think this would be a good call, bad call? Who do you think Golden Guardian should look at in the jungle? I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.